everybody, welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we're in a different location, but we're going to talk about another Army stories. This one's related. It's a story about when I was feeling very, very low, and the right person came along and kicked me in the backside to wake me up. So, quick story. Be right back with you in just a minute. So, one of my first exercises, we were, after I got to my normal unit, my first unit, and we were training in Yakima, Washington. And it was a cold, cold winter that winter, and lots of snow in Yakima. Yakima is known for, the famous Washington apples are from there, and hops also. And anyway, we arrived in Yakima. And it was a tough week, I would say. Cold as can be, being out in it nonstop, just freezing big time, really, really cold. And I remember not much sleep also. And, things were, I think I was able to go to the rear to do something. I don't know what it was exactly. And there was a shopette that was there. We stopped by to grab some pokey bait, some stuff like that. And I saw a telephone. So it was at night too. I remember I called back home and called my mom, and she answered, and I was just feeling really just cold and miserable and forgotten really why I was doing what I was doing, why I was there. And she replied to me, you know what, I've been listening to you whine and cry for several minutes on the phone, and you got to remember, you chose this. You've been wanting this since you were a little boy, and you got it. And so you need to pull your head out and remember why you're there and what you're doing, and quit your whining and crying. This my mother told me this now, okay? So I did. I didn't cry anymore, didn't whine anymore about what I was doing. It was a good kick in the backside. Just feeling sorry for myself. It was a tough week, that one of those first exercises in that kind of weather. Really, very, very cold, very wet, just miserable. I mean, but I did not enjoy it. I really did enjoy it. I enjoyed being out in the field. I enjoyed doing what I was doing, but it was cold. I will say that. But yeah, one of those stories. Sometimes when you're in that kind of situation, you need someone, whether it be a friend, a loved one, or a team leader, or even a best, one of your teammates, to really say, listen, hey, pull it out. You're here because you want to be here. And it also, many years later, I was a leader in the Army, a non-commissioned officer, and we were in the National Training Center and training. This was when I was in the 86th Airborne Division, and we had done some live fires there, and I think we had done a jump in after that. We did several days of exercises, and we were up on the well. This was in December, of course, and it was cold. Matter of fact, it was double poncho liner cold. That's how cold it was, and I had 2 poncho liners stored away in my butt pack, and maybe my backpack. And we were up on the well, and we were preparing the whole night. You really can't dig into the up there, but you move. We were moving. We landed by helicopter in the afternoon. Then we humped up the mountain almost all night. Got up there, got stuck in our positions. And I remember some of my guys were whining and crying about they were tired, they were hungry, they wanted to sleep, they were cold. And I walked over to them and said, listen, you know what? Right now, you're crying about it, but when we get back to Bragg, you're going to go downtown Fayetteville, you're going to meet some girls in a bar, and you're going to be bragging about just how cool you are, just, how airborne you are, that you humped up a mountain, just a week before in the cold, in the wind, and how you guys made it, and then how our battalion defeated the Out 4 the first time around. Matter of fact, we completely destroyed them at the well. So, and I think not too many people do that, especially light units like we were. But anyway, excellent exercise that was, and I had a great time there too. Especially when another little airborne story. We did a jump in, and I landed on the only freaking rock that was out there on my hip. My hip was completely black and blue. Then we moved about 5 kilometers to our objective. Spent the entire night trying to dig in, got attacked by tanks the next day and completely wiped out. That was a fun time. Anyway, hey, it was what it is. Desert fighting in conventional warfare in a National Training Center in California. Anyway, hope you enjoyed these little stupid stories. And, just remember this, we don't judge character by a sunshiny day and by rainbows and by flowers and by sweets and by good living. We judge character when you're thrown in shit, when it's a hard day, when the skies are gray, when the rain is pouring down and you're cold and wet and miserable. That's when we judge character. So as long as you can pull yourself through that and come out, then you have a character. You have a good, and people look at you as having a good character. So talk to you soon. I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel, share with all your friends and enemies, like, and leave a comment down below, and I'll get back with you. Thanks again. You guys have a good evening. Talk to you soon. Goodbye.